Everyone knows that public nuisance streamers that go around harassing strangers, causing a commotion, and just making everyone's lives around them more miserable suck. Like, that's not a hot take. Everyone knows that. They're just this miasma of cringe that cause everyone a massive headache. But, as I and many others have pointed out for years now, they do inspire an entire generation of young viewers to be losers like them. Because they do find an audience, they do find success, they make money from it. So it becomes a career path and something that young kids want to do to try and emulate that behavior and be like them. It's fucking tragic, and now we're starting to see the results of all of this.
What the fuck? Put your hand in my food again, and I'm throwing all of your phones.
Hey, you're not touching our phone.
Don't put your hand in my food again. Do not do that. You don't do that.
This young whippersnapper can't be older than 11 years old, and he's already becoming a scourge. He's trying to do what all of the other public nuisance streamers do by just being a societal hemorrhoid. He still has his baby teeth. He hasn't even gotten his adult teeth yet, and he's already doing this shit. He just graduated from suckling milk out of his mother's bosom, and now he's trying to suckle milk out of Jack Doherty's titties here. He's just trying to get that clout through being a piece of shit. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, Charles, are you really going to be insulting an 11-year-old here? And the answer is a resounding absolutely. This needs to be squashed. You gotta put the kibosh on this immediately to learn that this is not acceptable at all. So absolutely, I will be insulting this kid and the entire goof troop that travels with him for these streams. Now, he has thankfully been banned for this, which is one of the very few times I've ever seen Kick ban someone. I imagine it's not a permaban, but it 100% should be. I guess we'll have to wait and see if it is. Yeah, though, this shit absolutely super sucks. So I'm doing a public service here by insulting them. Hopefully it discourages more people like this, and hopefully this kid grows and learns that it's awful. It's not even good content. People are watching you because you are a clown, and they're sitting on the edge of their seat waiting for you to get your ass beat. That is your entire audience. You are a fucking spittoon that they are spitting in. Why would you want that to be your whole brand? His whole stream is basically either arguing or fighting people, and this is him just taking food from a stranger's table. That lady then goes up to confront him, and I'll show you that clip in a moment. But in the same stream, he also gets in an actual fist fight with some other kids. His whole stream is just creating problems and instigating, hoping that someone will fight back, and he just yells and screams about it, or in this case, throws some wet noodle punches at them. So him and his goof troop fight this other group, and they know that they're not going to get their ass beat because they're too young. So the group that's taking these punches doesn't actually fire back. They push him away at one point, but they don't actually swing on him because they know they would be the ones that get in trouble because this is a toddler. So they're using their age as a shield because they know there's going to be no real repercussions.
Don't put your hand in my food again. Do not do that. You don't do that to people.
Who do you think you are? Who do you think you
Stop
are?
filming me.
You're a nobody.
It's a live stream. You can't stop it.
Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you?
Give me the phone.
Now you're not touching my fucking phone. Touch my phone, I'm gonna actually do something.
Are you gonna beat me up?
Back the fuck up. Back the fuck. I will. I want to.
How old are you? 5?
Kids making threats to this woman, then he also has his friend, behind her just in case. It seems like he was contemplating sucker punching her. That's what it seemed like the synapses in his brain were about to fire and tell him to do there. This is his whole stream with him and his friends just wandering around, making problems with complete strangers for no reason. And I'm also using the term friends very loosey-goosey here because I have a hunch that they're not actually his friends. They probably can't stand to be around this annoying shit stain. They're just here because he has some viewers and they're trying to elevate themselves. That's typically how these stories go. I think it's also worth mentioning that he has clearly been heavily inspired by Jack Doherty. Jack Doherty is another public nuisance streamer who does this exact same style of content where he just travels around, makes problems, causes a ruckus, and he has a bodyguard with him so that when anyone tries to confront Jack, the bodyguard steps in and either attacks that person or scares them away and sizes them up, gets them out of there to protect Jack Doherty from the consequences of his actions while Jack peeks around, the bodyguard still lobbing insults at him like a real tough guy. Also, Jack Doherty is probably about the same size as this 11-year-old. So, the reason I say that he's clearly inspired by him is because this kid also travels around with a bodyguard. That's who that dweeb with the TikTok broccoli hair was that's positioned behind the woman here. That's supposed to be this kid's muscle. Or backup, perhaps. Maybe sidekick. I believe it's supposed to be his bodyguard, though, like Jack Doherty has. But the clear difference between Jack Doherty's bodyguard and this kid's is Jack's is a full-grown adult man who is like a professional bodyguard. This kid's is another child who's still afraid of the dentist and probably still wearing Pampers and the head of the anime club. But he is still trying very hard to be like Jack Doherty. And the question needs to be asked, where are their parents? Where in the fucking world are these kids' parental figures?
Do you think I give a flying fuck? Do you? Alright, hold up. Do you?
Don't do that again.
Hold up. Yeah, shut the fuck up. Let's go.
I couldn't imagine anything more painful as a parent than seeing your son like this, or any of the kids in this group here. It'd be less shameful if they were just addicted to heroin. Now, I know a lot of people default to blaming the parents here because that's a really easy thing to point the finger at, especially with so many parents just sitting their kids in front of an iPad and letting them doom scroll the internet and letting the internet raise their kids. But in a case like this, I don't necessarily know if that's 100% how this happened. I think even if you're someone who's very active in their kids' lives, they can just stumble across something like a kick streamer like Jack Doherty and see him flexing his wealth and be, blown away by that, getting stars in their eyes and be like, I want to be like that. And no matter what the parent does, they can't really snap them out of it. That's just something the kid's going to have to learn through failure and learning that they're going to end up alone and a loser by trying to be like Jack Doherty. But I think there is a clear problem here that the parents aren't here. Like, they're just letting their 11-year-olds wander around IRL streaming. Under no circumstances should a child of this age be fucking IRL streaming on Kick. Kick is a platform that actually has child predators on it. There was a whole expose video about a big streamer who was legitimately a fucking predator. And their kids are now streaming IRL on that platform right now. And even on any platform, I don't think any kids should be doing any kind of streams like this. So I really am curious why the parents aren't more present in their life to allow them to stream for hours like this. That's just downright irresponsible, 100%. But I don't necessarily blame them for the kid trying to be a Jack Doherty clone, a bootleg Jack Doherty. That's something that even if the parents were monitoring their internet usage, he may have just stumbled across through TikTok or Twitter or something and then just got hooked on it. And that's a hard thing to stop as a parent. I do understand that part, but they definitely need to know that this is not acceptable behavior or normal behavior for kids to be doing. Fucking streaming, being an asshole. Come on. The parents definitely got to step up here and do something, I would say. Unfortunately, I don't think this is going to be the last time we see a kid start to do streams like this. I really do think that streamers like Jack Doherty, who I keep name dropping, but it's just so clear his influence on this kid's life, really do create further degenerates. They just continue this cycle of degeneracy by making more people like this. And it sucks. That shit is terrible. So hopefully I'm wrong and we won't see more cases like this. But man, it's still awful. Even with just one case, that one kid was inspired enough to start trying to do the same thing. It's sad to see. And yeah, I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. That's about it. So yeah. It's been a little while since we just looked at a good old-fashioned embarrassing live streamer, and boy do I have a special specimen to share with you all today. The clip I'm about to show you is brand new. It only happened like 2 days ago, but it feels vintage. It's an IRL public nuisance stream that really does feel straight out of 2018, back when that was a popular genre. It's long dead now, it's fizzled out, but back in like the 2018 era, a very popular category of streaming was IRL, and it was infested with these degenerate worms that would just create as much ruckus in public as they could, try and instigate confrontation, and just be an absolute fucking headache to everyone around them. And the bigger the blow up they could cause, the better the content. It's not popular anymore because the shtick wore off and now it's just kind of pathetic and lame. But just like this guy's hairstyle, he's stuck in the past. This is a 40-year-old man who has a hairstyle of a 14-year-old emo boy. and he is a Kick streamer. He's not a Twitch streamer, but he has risen to notoriety because he has been accused twice now of having sex live on stream at Kick with prostitutes. I haven't seen it myself, so I can't fully opine on that, but goddamn, really going hard on that IRL content.
You see that shit? It's fucking what we do.
Unironically blasting dubstep in a train right now. And then he says, he has the gall, the chutzpah, to say, "This is what we do." Brother, you are stuck 15 years in the past. Holy shit. This is like a video I would have seen on MySpace from a pathetic guy back then, let alone 2023. Jesus Christ. I still can't get over that goofy line. This is fucking what we do. What? Sit there awkwardly in silence while you blast shitty music throughout the train? Like, usually when you say something like that, like, this is what we do, it's right before you do something cool. Like, fucking base jumping, bungee jumping, going out to play in the championship basketball game, like, anything besides just sitting down and blasting dubstep. This guy kind of cements my belief that sometimes people are just born to be a lifelong loser, and there's really nothing you can do to help them or change that trajectory. They are just destined to be a fucking loser. It'd actually be pretty sad if this guy wasn't such an asshole. But you can see the people around him are clearly bothered by the loud dubstep that he is blaring here in this train for no reason other than to be a douchebag. He clearly believes he is the main character here and everyone else is just props for his IRL content. Just genuine filth.
Você. Ó. Você. Don't touch my shit. Don't touch me. Don't touch my shit. Don't touch me. Fuck you, pussy. Fuck you, pussy.
I think it's pretty clear that he's most likely drunk here. As I understand it, he also does coke on stream occasionally, so maybe a little mix of both, some alcohol, some coke in his system, and right now they're waging war inside of his body. But yeah, anyway, Edgy Edna Mode here gets up in a hurry after someone touches his device, saying, "Don't touch my shit," and then calling him a fucking pussy as he waddles away, stumbles away. The people around him are already very tired of his presence here. Rightfully so. I imagine even when he's not streaming, he's still probably a very hard person to be around in general. Someone tried to get his attention, most likely to ask him to turn it down, but he ignored him, even though he could clearly hear him, I imagine. So, when that failed, someone else just tried to turn it off themselves.
Fuck you. These motherfuckers touching my shit. I can't get out of here. I can't get out. I just want to go out.
Who the fuck do you think you are?
Do you want me to turn down my volume?
Yeah.
That's
Don't
all you.
speak in the train.
That's all you have to say.
The way this goofball is behaving and the way he's speaking remind me of like an old 80s B-movie bad guy. Like really poorly acted, yet he's being real here, which is wild. Now he said if you wanted me to turn down the volume, all you had to do was ask, even though that was attempted and he just ignored him. I've seen a couple people make the argument that the guy shouldn't have reached for his phone to turn it off. He should have like tapped this guy on the shoulder first. And I guess that's fair to say, but it's not like I have any sympathy for the guy just touching the other dude's phone. He ignored the other guy. He's clearly doing this just to be a nuisance douchebag. Fucking touch his phone, turn it off. Like, fine. I'm not gonna get mad about that. And this guy doesn't have a right to get mad about it either, since this is the whole point of his content. He wanted to make a scene out of this because that's what it's all about for him. So he's getting exactly what he wanted. He doesn't really have a leg to stand on here with getting mad and aggressive. It's exactly what he was looking for.
Instead of being wait. I want to take English to you because you understand English, right? Nah. You know? Chatomate, ne. Speak English to me.
Don't fucking Japanese to us, man.
Uh-oh, big guy's going insano style now. He's whipping out the Speak English card while he's in Japan. So he's now saying that they need to speak English to him, despite him being there in Japan.
Okay, bro. Okay, bro. Okay, bro. Daijoubu. You see that? You see what happened right here? Fucking motherfuckers. Chill. 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 In English, we say chill. Chill.
No, yes. In Japanese, we say disappear.
Excellent de-escalation tactics here from this guy, truly a master of his craft. A real silver-tongued devil, I'll tell you what. So, a whole conflict that this guy started for the sake of his shitty stream has escalated to a point that now makes him uncomfortable. He seems very scared now that he's about to enter into a physical confrontation. So now he's just saying chill, chill as he's retreating off the train instantly. Like, immediately, ASAP, getting the fuck out of there.
Why are you racist? You're racist.
I am fucking racist.
You are racist, right?
I am.
You're racist.
No.
You're racist, right? He said he was racist. He said it. You see, he said he was racist, man.
That is no racist.
Oh shit, stand back. This guy's using his alt. He's alting. He brought out the racist card somehow in this situation on the other guy, hitting him with that fucking crazy reverse. Good lord, out of nowhere, from the top turnbuckle, he tries to cry racism. Fucking wild maneuver here. Interesting tactics. I don't even know really where to begin on breaking that one down. I don't even think it's necessary. I think that one speaks for itself, honestly. Let the chess speak for itself in this case here, because goddamn, what an embarrassing sign-off to this whole situation. It goes on a little bit further where he, like, shakes this guy's hand, who's being, like, a little less aggressive than the other guy. He's like, oh, thanks for being nice, that guy's not nice. Even though he had every right to not be nice to this guy. Like, I think that's a totally reasonable response to a vermin like this who's just blasting music and refusing to turn it down when someone's trying to get their attention, and then has this huge blow up when you just take matters into your own hands and, like, turn it down for him. Like, I mean, fuck you. The whole point was the confrontation, right? So why are you gonna act all offended and upset all because a guy actually, you know, played along with what you've started? Anyway, that's really the whole situation. This is just one of those classic embarrassing IRL streamer moments that I thought was worth joking around about and at least, you know, talking about a little bit. It really does feel straight out of 2018, but believe it or not, this is a brand new clip from this week. So, that's interesting. That's really about it. So yeah. There's an expression called misery loves company, and today I realized that that's kind of like the philosophy of how I live my life. Whenever I see something that makes me upset, I share it with all of you. If I see something that's embarrassing or gross and yucky, I make sure all of you have to see it and experience it as well. If I have to be traumatized by turbo cringe, so does everybody else. I go full scorched earth, I salt the soil, making sure everyone also has to feel my agony. And I even do that in real life with my friends too. Like if I eat a piece of food that I'm a little concerned might not be fully cooked, like a little raw, and I get concerned about like a foodborne illness, I'll see if any of my friends will eat it too, so that way we can share in the sickness together, so I'm not alone. It's always met with a resounding no, and go fuck yourself, but I at least still do give the attempt. Point is, today I realized that I do that a lot, and I'm about to do it again. There is a trend of streamers that I've talked about quite a few times over the last few years that always make me infuriated. It is the distracted drivers streamers. I'm sure you've seen a lot of streams that take place in a car where a streamer is literally reading chat while driving. It is unbelievably dangerous, irresponsible, and just an absolute terrible thing to do. And I'm always surprised that there's not more huge accidents that occur as a result of it. It of course not only endangers their life, but the lives of all of the innocent people on the road around them, simply because the streamer can't fight the urge to look at chat to read Omega lol and look at ASCII art of some big tits. It's fucking stupid. Now it is bannable on Twitch. I'm not saying that they're flying under the radar and Twitch is doing nothing about it. when Twitch is made aware of a streamer that is clearly reading chat while driving, they do take action. Now that's not to say that all driving streams are prohibited, because they are still allowed as long as a passenger is the one that's reading chat, not the driver, so that way it's a little bit safer. But unfortunately, about once a month, there's some little worms that pop out from the shadow that decide to do a driving stream because they're the main character of life, they're the fucking protagonist, and everyone else on the road is just their props, so they'll hop in their car and just be reading chat the whole time from their phone, putting everyone around them at risk. And that brings us to my least favorite streamer on Twitch. I'm not going to say her name, but 3 days ago, she was streaming while driving, reading chat on her phone, and she ran over someone's dog. And I'm clearly not going to show you the actual running over the dog because it's very hard to watch and extremely hard to listen to because the animal is wailing in pain for like 45 seconds before the clip cuts off. It's fucking awful.
Stuka, stukło przed chwilą. Kurwa, nie wierzę wtedy. Jezus, ile tu psów! Pewnie jakaś macieczkę.
It's at that moment she runs over somebody's pet because she was too busy reading chat on her phone. She even mentioned that there were a lot of dogs around and then still made the decision to constantly be reading fucking chat. And it's not like they were saying anything insightful. Like, you can see the chat right there on the screen. There's nothing that is urgent that she needs to be looking down for. It's not like some kind of fucking speed situation where she needs to be reading chat every X amount of seconds or the car's gonna blow up. She could have just not done that, and the person's pet would have probably not been hit. So this fucking clown here that's dressed like Curious George couldn't help but be reading her fucking chat and then ran over a dog. Clearly this made me very upset, so I wanted to share it with all of you so you'd also be upset. Good news is she did get banned for this, but I also think she should be facing criminal charges. Distracted driving, texting while driving, all of that. It's not a joke. Like, at all. And this is a step above texting and driving, I would argue. Because if you go back and watch her clips, she is staring at that phone for like fucking 5-10 seconds at a time. It's not even like she's just like doing one of these. Not that that's any better. But like she was like reading it as if she was like trying to get through a goddamn like Magic Treehouse book on her phone. You know, you would have thought that she was going over important legal documents with the amount of time she spent fucking reading her phone in the car while driving. Obviously, this situation gets me heated. I'm like a microwave with tinfoil in it right now. It is extremely upsetting to see this happen, and this is far from the only case of it. It's just the most recent. There's been plenty of car accidents from streamers reading chat, but usually it just involves them getting into single car accidents like this goofball here who crashed into a parking barrier while reading chat. I also remember seeing one on YouTube where a guy was arguing with someone in chat and then ran a stop sign and got T-boned by a fucking semi-truck. It looked like something out of a Final Destination movie. And to make it worse, he clearly lost the argument because he got hit by a fucking car while arguing. That's an instant L on that entire confrontation, so the chatter even walked away with the dub. It's not uncommon, it's not that rare. Somehow there's always these pathetic little worms, smooth-brained, stupid-head idiots that'll pop on a live stream and then just start reading chat while driving, and it leads to situations like this. And among all of these champions of Darwinism is my least favorite streamer, that lady I just showed you. She was a Polish streamer before she got banned for this, and hopefully she faces criminal charges for it as well. I definitely think that's appropriate, or at the very least, losing her license. I've always been very open and honest about my stance of drunk drivers and how there's absolutely no sympathy I feel for anyone drunk driving. I think the laws should absolutely slap the fuck out of them. Drunk driving has no excuse, and I feel the same about distracted driving when it's as blatant as this. It's been translated what she was saying, and she said, according to this, "Jesus, how many dogs are here?" And then after saying that, goes right back to looking at her phone. So she recognized that there were dogs around the area, and then still decided to read chat because she had got a little notification. That's like actual baby brain shit. It makes me question if she ever developed object permanence. She took notice of dogs around the area, and then assumed they vanished when she looked at her phone or something, like, oh, I can't see them anymore, they must have just fucking phased out of existence, and then she hits one. Like, that is some shit like out of a video game, when you critique, like, bad AI in a game. Like, when a guard sees you, he's like, oh, who is that? I see you over there. But then you like go into a tall bush and he's like, must have been the wind. Like, that's her brain. Like, that must be like how her mind works. The second she can't see something, it ceases to exist. It's clearly very frustrating to me. And I just wanted to vent about this after seeing it today. I just wanted to share it with all of you so you could also be upset about it, and I just wanted to show you who my least favorite Twitch streamer is now. So yeah, that's really about it. See ya. Today there was a situation so big that it actually got my dad to text me about it, and that's not something he usually does. The only time he ever texts me about news is when it involves aliens, or even something adjacent, like remotely related to aliens. He'll be like, "Hey bud, you see that new discovery at the pyramids? It's aliens, Charles, aliens." And I'm like, "Dad, they just found an old rock. It's not anything to do about aliens." It's like, "Aliens!" caps locked. But point is, this story is so big that even my dad has become aware of it. One of the biggest streamers in the world, Kai Cenat, announced he was doing a giveaway at Union Square in New York City. And things got way out of hand. This shit went insano style real quick. It ended up going into complete pandemonium and chaos. And people were like scrambling to get out of there because things got like dangerous with cars being climbed on top of and windows busted out. Like, it was go gadget, get the fuck out of New York if you happen to be going to this giveaway here expecting to get anything other than your ass beat, basically. There's tons of videos showing, like, fights that broke out as well as this, like, breaking windows of cars, and there was even a part where Kai and his team tried to get away in their vehicle, only for a ton of people to jump on top of it, and they just kept driving with bodies actually flying off of their car.
That is why you're seeing that crowd there chase after.
That's it.
That's the vehicle right there that they believe Kai Cenat is in right now. As Safan was saying, he was there. He was in the crowd for a little bit of time, but clearly this was an out-of-control crowd, and
I can't show the part where the people start falling off because that might be against YouTube's terms. They didn't get, like, seriously injured, I don't believe. It's not like they fell off the car and then, like, blew up, just, like, gore and body parts flying all over the place, but I'm just gonna play it safe. People do start falling off the car because they're just trying to get away from the madness that happened here. Obviously, this giveaway event went a little differently than Kai and his team anticipated. A few thousand people showed up here, which I don't think they thought would happen. So the event wasn't permitted or sanctioned or anything, and after it was all said and done, there were about 65 arrests and quite a few injuries as well. Kai had apparently advertised this as a huge giveaway, saying that they'd be giving away computers, PlayStation 5s, microphones, keyboards, webcams, gaming chairs, but at the end of the day, the only thing that was given away here was hands. Everyone was catching some fucking hands. There were quite a few videos of fights that were breaking out there, which of course only escalated, shit popping off. So not only were vehicles damaged and windows blown out, but some other nearby places were destroyed, like food stands and things like that. So overall, it just got really out of hand really quickly, with so many people showing up for this giveaway. Apparently, the police department even activated a level 4 response, which just sounds terrifying. That sounds like something out of a sci-fi film during an actual invasion event. That is just a horrifying term, a level 4 response. That's like some DEFCON 1 shit. So it's apparently their highest level of disaster response, and earlier they had activated a level 2 to handle crowds. So this sounds like they got the 6th star in GTA 5, basically. A fucking level 4 highest level disaster response. That sounds like it's usually just reserved for actual apocalyptic events. Like if an EMP detonated in New York or something and they're scrambling at a level 4. So this was a huge deal. And it seems that the police department is pulling no punches, because it seems like they are now charging Kai Cenat with at least 2 counts of inciting a riot and unlawful assembly.
Are you going to charge Kai Cenat?
Yes. The influencer is charged. He's going to be charged with multiple counts, at least 2 counts of inciting a riot, unlawful assembly, and a few other charges.
Yeah, they're not fucking around here. This was a level 4 interview response. They're not taking this as some kind of light, silly little mistake, an oops-a-daisy moment that they can just move on from and forgive. They're going hard, saying that this was the incitement of a riot. Obviously, that wasn't the goal with the giveaway event here. Kai Cenat and Phantom wanted to do a giveaway event for their communities to come collect some cool shit from them and thank them for the support. It was like a pseudo meet and greet, as I understand it. And even though I believe this whole event came from a place of good intentions, unfortunately, that's just not how it played out today. And while you can't control everyone who goes to your event or anything like that, they do still bear some responsibility here. Because this was an unsanctioned event with no permits, it means they also didn't have a team in place to control the situation to ensure things don't get crazy. And the fact that they didn't anticipate that something like this could happen is a huge miscalculation. There were more miscalculations here today from them than there were on the math section of my SATs. This kind of thing happens a lot at sporting events, where a lot of people, after a big win, get excited, they get super hyped, so when they leave the venue and they're still super excited and hype, they end up just like destroying things, and that's what happened today. A lot of people gathered in the same location, all really excited and really hype, and things just got out of control because there wasn't any real planning beforehand to ensure that there were people there to keep things from getting nuts, to the point where even Kai and his team are driving away with people hanging off of their car, falling off. Shit was wild. So this is just a complete lack of planning, which led to a catastrophe, really. I'm honestly pretty shocked that this even happened, like the event itself even went on. I just can't believe no one on Kai's team thought for a single second that this might require a little more planning than they had given it. Like, no one thought for a second, like, hey, might want to pump the brakes on this. This isn't exactly the best idea. We'll probably want to put a little more effort into this and get like a security team in place, you know, just in case. I don't know how it actually got to this point where they went through with it without having like basic security in place or like permits or having someone to supply a team to help in case a situation arises. You should expect a huge turnout, especially when you're as successful as Kai and Phantom. Like, you should really expect a ton of people to be there. And in a case like that, why wouldn't you want to just be a little bit safer, even for yourself? Because there could be some real weirdos in there. And there were some weirdos that were hanging off of their car. Like, I just don't know how it even got to this point where they went through with it without more and deeper planning put into it. But anyway, that's kind of where this story's at right now, and yeah, that's really about it. So yeah. What an unbelievably crazy week on Kick. I was just talking about the French streamer Jean Parmenov, who passed away in his sleep on stream after a marathon of abuse from some other streamers, and just now, I literally just finished streaming Resident Evil 6, and I was taking a little tinkle, and I got sent a little something that is so diabolical, I had to hop back in the saddle and yap about it. It is incomprehensible that yet another potential death was just streamed on Kick. I'm recording this an hour after it happened, and the victim is currently still in the ICU, so I guess by the time I post this, I'll know whether or not they passed away, but I'm going to keep this part in here right now because it's up in the air. A Kick streamer, Raja Jackson, who is the son of Rampage Jackson, and also a professional fighter, just went fucking ballistic on a wrestler during a wrestling event on stream. He picks the wrestler up, slams him on the mat, and then lays down 27 punches to the man's skull, most of which were delivered while he was unconscious. And by the end of it, he is bleeding and bloodied. They couldn't wake him up. They said he was barely breathing, and someone even used the word flatlined, that he was flatlined in the ring. This is not fake. This is not scripted. I did my best to censor this. It is brutal. It is extremely hard to watch. I also cut the clip short, but they pan back and he is covered in blood. Raja Jackson is a professional fighter who has unloaded, I counted 27 blows to an unconscious man. And they all are connecting. This is not like fake. It's not like he's pulling any of his punches. They are all hitting squarely on this man's skull, bouncing his head off of the mat. And I said most of them were when he was unconscious. All of them are while he's unconscious. When I watched it back, it's clear that when he slammed him on the mat, his head hit the mat and it knocked him out immediately. So all 27, potentially more, punches that he threw were on an unconscious man. That can be fatal. That is most oftentimes fatal. And he wasn't done either. It's not like he just stopped and said, okay, well, that's plenty. I've had my fill. He was still going. The only reason there weren't more punches thrown by him is because the other wrestlers were able to separate him. But he was fighting against them to go back and keep beating this unconscious man. He probably wouldn't have stopped punching him until his head popped like a balloon. It's extremely scary, and even if he does pull through, this could have life-changing repercussions with brain damage and so many other complications for the rest of his life, if he even survives, which we don't know yet. He apparently flatlined in the ring and is currently still in the ICU, and we don't have any updates. This is terrifying stuff. Hello, it's Charles, first thing in the morning here, and we don't have a ton of official updates on the condition of that wrestler, but the father of Raja Jackson, Rampage Jackson, gave an update where he is saying that Psycho Stu, that's the name of the wrestler, is alive and is stable. And he also says that he's clearing up misinformation about his son. But then in his statement, he doesn't clear up any misinformation. He just confirms what everyone already knows, that this was completely out of control, inexcusable behavior that Rampage Jackson also doesn't condone. So I don't know what misinformation he thinks he's clearing up with this. He's just agreeing with what everyone else is saying, that his son went fucking berserk. I guess maybe the misinformation demon that he was exercising here was about his son actually getting like the permission for payback on Psycho Stu for an earlier confrontation. And what he's referring to there is they had like a little beef before the event started, and someone had told Raja Jackson that he could, like, double leg take down Psycho Stu in the ring and then throw, like, a fake punch, and that would be it, to, like, settle the beef and create, like, this storyline. But Raja Jackson, on stream, on camera, says that he is going to hurt Psycho Stu. He said he will not stop punching him until people will yank him off of him. So he took that like pseudo invite, like green light to be involved in the wrestling event as a permission slip to go brutally assault this man and beat him within an inch of his life. Like, I think you could also make a case that this is attempted murder. This was premeditated assault that he planned on not stopping at any point until third parties intervened. Like, I really think you could make, like, a real argument that he had went in there with the full intentions of killing Psycho Stu. That's what it looks like to me.
Tell you guys this, they told me to hit him and just leave. Somebody who pulled me off of him will leave. I'm telling you, I'm gonna hit him as many times as I can. Watch.
That's indefensible. You can see him literally planning it off the back of them giving him like the instructions for a work where he'd come in and he'd deliver like a hit, like a fake hit, and then he'd be pulled off and that'd be the end of it. And he is saying, but watch this, I'm going to keep punching him. Like, he is blatantly stating this. It is very clearly a premeditated assault. And like I said, I really think his goal was to kill Psycho Stu there. It really seems like that was his mission. And you can't chalk this up to confusion where he was directed to do something but then just went a little far, like, mistakenly. He is, with his own voice, his own vocal folds flapping with their own volition here. He is stating, they told me to do this, but instead, I'm going to do this. I'm going to punch him as many times as I possibly can. He is stating clearly that they told him one thing, and he is not doing that. Instead, he is going to punch the shit out of him, beat him within an inch of his life. You can't possibly say that he just got confused with the stage directions here of the storyline. He is saying that he is going to go punch him as many times as possible and disregard what they said he is permitted to do, like what they planned on. It is premeditated assault by every possible definition. Now, what started all of this, and I've seen people joking about it like, oh, haha, Raja Jackson must not know that wrestling is fake, and he thought the heel was being mean to his favorite babyface, so he took matters into his own hands, tee-hee-hee. But what actually happened is Raja Jackson was touring the event and meeting the wrestlers backstage. And of course, the wrestlers are all playing characters, and when it comes to wrestling, there's a little something called kayfabe. And so they are going to portray their character to the best of their ability and keep everything as authentic and genuine as possible. And Psycho Stu was in character and misunderstood that Raja Jackson was not a worker in the event.
Worry about him.
Psycho
Be worried about Psycho Stu.
Psycho Stu?
What, you don't know me?
Hell no. Yeah.
Hey, I think that's a little.
Oh, you don't sell it?
He's not a fucking worker, bro. Calm down.
Yeah, what the fuck was that?
You're good.
What the fuck was that?
You don't sell it?
Dude, he's not a fucking worker, bro.
What the fuck was that? Hold on. I don't play that shit, bro.
Oh, sorry.
No, I will fuck him
we're
up,
good.
bro.
I know you will. We're good.
And he takes it way too far when he takes a beer can. I don't know if it's like a real beer can or like one of those breakaway like stunt ones, but he takes it and he crushes it on Raja Jackson's head. Then you can see him get really fired up about it, and all the other wrestlers are also saying to Psycho Stu, like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? He's not like a worker here or anything. That was too far. And that's what started this. And then Raja Jackson waited until their match. Then he stormed in and then beat him potentially to death for it. Now, I think if Raja Jackson had swung on Psycho Stu after the beer can thing, you could definitely make a strong case that he was acting in self-defense. Because that is unexpected, it was unprovoked, and it was kind of a crazy thing for Psycho Stu to do, not knowing for sure if Raja Jackson was a worker in the event or not. It was a bad judgment call for sure from Stu. And he was just like way too fucking committed to being the heel. Like he was really deep into his method acting like fucking Shia LaBeouf style, and he did the beer can thing, and it was definitely over the line. But here's something a lot of people aren't showing enough of, that Psycho Stu was very apologetic when he learned that Raja Jackson was not a worker at the event. He apologized 3 times. They shook hands multiple times, and Raja said, like, hey, it's good, I get it. Multiple times. Meanwhile, he was just like bubbling with anger, waiting for his chance to fucking assault this man.
So fucking seal that.
Yeah. Hey,
I'm sorry, bro. Hey, it's gonna all work out.
Yeah, hello. I appreciate it.
I didn't know. I thought you were a worker. Camera.
I get it.
We're not working out. Well, he's gonna come out on your mat, Juice. I know you keep thinking we're working. We're always working.
I get it. Yeah. I get it now. Now you
know what I'm saying? Yeah. We're always working.
What a fucking worm. This is some slimy behavior here. This is some turbo ass. Raja Jackson is now pretending that he understands and forgives Psycho Stu, who is very apologetic, mind you, and he's explaining, like, look, I saw the cameras, I thought that this was like another work, that we were building a storyline, this and that, and Raja Jackson's like, no, I get it, and he's like shaking his hand and everything. Meanwhile, he is actively planning of assaulting this man, beating him unconscious and fucking leaving him eating meals through a straw, as he is like pretending to let bygones be bygones here and that they're on good terms. That's fucking unhinged. Now, before showing you some more of the aftermath here, let me introduce you to Psycho Stu. I think you should get a little bit of the lore behind this wrestler that Raja Jackson beat so severely, hospitalizing in the ICU, and apparently caused to flatline in the ring.
Pro in 2009. I had just got out of the military, probably about 6 months earlier. I got out of the military, I joined Knox Pro, because I needed something to focus on. I needed something to help me adjust back into civilian life. A lot of veterans, it's hard for them to readjust into civilian life coming from the life of the military. I'm an American soldier that suffers from PTSD. Being in front of a crowd, it doesn't give me as much anxiety and aggression as I thought it would.
Yeah. Psycho Stu is a veteran who was suffering from PTSD and found wrestling as a means of escapism and fell in love with the sport. And now is currently hospitalized in the ICU, but apparently is stable, so hopefully Rampage Jackson is accurate with that claim that he is alive and stable. That would be wonderful news. but what an unbelievable set of circumstances that led to his hospitalization here. Yes, he made a mistake with Rampage Jackson's son here, not knowing whether or not he was a worker and still building the storyline anyway under the impression he was, but it's not a mistake that should have led to something like this, especially when he did everything in his power to try and rectify it and try and apologize for his mistake and explain why it happened and ensure that it was totally unintentional and there wasn't meant to be any bad blood or anything. And he thought that he did accomplish that, but clearly Raja Jackson didn't actually think so. He was just acting. Raja Jackson was flexing his thespian skills here when he was pretending that everything was okay between those two, because what he was actually doing was plotting a premeditated assault on Psycho Stu. Again, that potential argument of self-defense, that has poofed away like Timmy Turner's fairy godparents. That ship sailed a long time ago because he didn't act in response to the threat. Like, after the beer can was crushed on his head, which, again, he wasn't expecting, and that can be dangerous, but he didn't, like, act in the heat of the moment to defend himself from that or anything. Instead, he let it marinate, let his rage bubble up, and then waited for his opportunity to get revenge later. There is no longer a possible case of self-defense here. Like, yes, he was wronged, but he didn't, like, try and defend himself from that threat or anything. He pretended to, like, move on from it with the guy who did it, and then waited to attack him later. And I think you can make a very strong case that it was attempted murder. At the very least, it is a premeditated assault, and based on the things he was saying leading up to it, and based on the behavior in the ring when he was delivering 27-ish blows to an unconscious man's skull, I really think there is a strong argument to be made that he was in there doing that solely to try and kill him. All of this on stream, mind you, and you can even see him respond to the news that the guy that he just unloaded 27 punches on in the ring while he was unconscious is potentially flatlined.
Hello?
Hey, where the hell are you at? Who told you to double leg that motherfucker and start welding him? I just saw the video.
Shit pissed me off though, Andre.
I understand that, but now they can't wake the nigga up. He's fucking in the ring, fucking flatline, bro.
My bad.
You didn't have to do all that shit. I understand y'all had heat. You didn't have to fucking take it there.
I'll call you back later.
This guy does not seem to care at all. This is a fucking monster right here. In response to hearing that the guy flatlined, he just says, "My bad." That's crazy. Kratos had more empathy for the people that he killed in very similar fashion, by the way, with like the unbelievable amount of blows to the head. But at least in Kratos' case, the people he was fighting, they were at least conscious. All of these were delivered to an unconscious man. A man who never even saw this coming, by the way, because he storms into the ring, grabs him, and then slams him. So it wasn't even a fight, but he walks away feeling so fucking tough and accomplished about it with no remorse at all for potentially killing this man.
Tired of motherfuckers playing with me, bro. Real shit. One of them was a bitch and fucking bit me. I'm tired of everybody fucking playing with me and shit. Think I'm always playing and shit. Call me bitch and shit. Not no fucking bitch, bro. At the end of the day, I'ma stand up for my fucking self because I'm tired of everybody fucking playing with me, bro. Real shit.
He's walking away from this with his chin held high, extremely proud of what's unfolded here. It seems like this might be the happiest moment of his life. The way that he is perceiving this is him standing up for himself. He is not able to have a grasp on the severity of what just happened here. He thinks that because the disrespect that he encountered earlier in the day, he was entirely justified to potentially murder this man. And by the way, the wrestlers that were calling him a bitch, well, I imagine they were saying that because he basically sucker punched this guy potentially to death. The guy never even had a chance to fight back because he came into the ring when his back was turned, slammed him down, immediately knocking him unconscious. It wasn't even a fight, it was a surprise attack. So I imagine that's what he's referencing when it comes to the wrestlers like insulting him and the one that bit him, with everyone that was like getting on top of Raja to get him away from Psycho Stu on the ground because he was still going back to try and make sure he was dead, it seems. Now, in the rest of the clip here, one of the wrestlers from the event starts walking towards them, talking to them, trying to get them to stay, probably until police get there would be my guess. But he is talking to them and he is shit-talking, trying to goad him into staying. And he's like talking about like, I'll fight you right now. And then it's a back and forth. But Raja Jackson reiterates that he wants to fight more of them there. He wants to continue to beat people within an inch of their life there. It's scary. I cannot imagine a world where he does not go to jail for this. I really can't. Rampage Jackson has tons and tons of money, sure, but I don't know if he's going to be able to outspend the attempted murder charges that his son just racked up here. Now, of course, I'm not a lawyer and I don't have like a magic crystal ball that I can ponder the orb of to see the future, but my guess would be that there will be attempted murder charges for this incident. Because, I mean, I really think it's like, it feels like that's what the goal here was when Raja Jackson was delivering these blows. I mean, I think at bare minimum, you're getting some serious assault charges. Like, no matter what, I think he should be thrown in the slammer for this. This behavior is completely unacceptable. He knew exactly what he was doing. He even on stream states what he's about to do. And he clearly doesn't stop until he is pulled off and then still wants to keep going. All of these blows delivered to an unconscious man. How could you possibly say this is anything other than him trying to kill him? It's fucking sickening. Now, like I said at the start of the video, I've recorded all of this pretty much immediately after it happened, so we still don't know how Psycho Stu is doing, if he's going to pull through from all of this or not. But by the time I post this video, I imagine we'll have some kind of update, so I'll go ahead and put that at the beginning of the video. But as of right now, fingers crossed that he pulls through. Like, yeah, he definitely did make a big mistake with the beer can thing, but I don't think it's something that should have cost him his life here in this manner. This shit is unhinged. Anyway, that's really about it. See ya. Over the last couple days, I just haven't been able to decide if it was a good idea to talk about this publicly or not. I have been more back and forth on this than a student driver learning how to parallel park. I just feel like this topic is one where even mentioning it makes it more of a problem. Kind of like the Bye-Bye Man, where even just saying his name gives him power. But ultimately, this is a topic that I've covered on this channel many times over the last 3 or 4 years. I've been keeping my finger on the pulse of this entire AI deepfaking industry. So there's actually quite a bit I'd like to say on the subject. You already know where this is going. You can already see the train tracks and where the rails are heading. We're talking about the Atrioc situation, which I'm very confident the majority of you have seen by now. Atrioc is a very popular streamer, and earlier this week, he made a big blunder. He was streaming, and during his stream, there was a split second where he showed his tabs. And unlike the many other streamers that have come before him that have made this same mistake where they show something embarrassing, or they show, like, porn and get banned for 3 days for it, Atrioc's case is a little more unique because the tab he showed was porn, but it was AI deepfaked porn of his streaming coworkers. The image only jump scared the stream for about a second, but the ramifications from this are going to last much longer. Of course, this happened publicly, so I suppose Atrioc felt the need to defend himself publicly, which led to a very tearful and very uncomfortable stream where he was apologizing and explaining everything while his wife was in the background during all of it. And he was going over the situation, explaining that one night at 2 a.m. he was on Pornhub, perusing the old tube there, and he clicked on one of the ads, which immediately blew my mind and probably everyone else's mind in the world that anyone clicks on ads on any site, let alone porn sites. That's just asking for malware, virus, Trojan, or just having your whole fucking computer explode. But he said morbid curiosity got the best of him. He saw an ad for AI deepfake porn. He clicked on it and then paid for it. He paid for access to the deepfaked porn, and it was of some of his streaming colleagues, which of course is a very big problem. That's weird, creepy, and pretty disgusting stuff. I think everyone can agree with that. He did follow this up last night with a written apology, going more in depth on everything and talking about the action he's going to take to improve, as well as stepping away from his company Off-Brand. And I'm going to go ahead and let everyone know, in case you don't know, Atrioc and I have collaborated on projects over the last year a couple times. We've talked quite a bit. I do consider him a friend, so when all this happened, I was extremely disappointed. Now, since this happened a couple days ago, it's already ancient history on the internet. Everyone's already given their take and talked about this situation, so I don't really have anything to add to the whole Atrioc discussion that someone hasn't already said. It is very clearly a pretty gross and creepy thing to have done, especially because it's not just morbid curiosity that you just clicked on something and saw it. You clicked on it, you paid for it, knowing what you were about to see, and then got it. And then it also stayed open in the tabs. Like, all of that is very bad, alarming shit. But I'm not really here to just keep focusing on the Atrioc situation itself or like dunking on the stream. I actually want to talk about AI deepfaked porn directly, because I've actually talked about this quite a bit over the last couple years, and now what Atrioc has done is he's opened the can of worms and shown a lot more people just how far along AI deepfaking technology has come in the porn industry. He was kind of like the lightning rod, the catalyst to open people's eyes to this kind of degeneracy that's existed for a few years now. This whole situation almost worked out like a hashtag ad, like a sponsored stream segment, because the traffic to that site exploded as a result of this whole story. Now, the site has been shut down, and rightfully so. I'll also briefly tackle the damaged Coomer brains that are somehow defending this as like a normal, not awful thing. They're saying, like, it's not even their real body, why do they care, this is fucking stupid, it's not illegal. It actually is illegal in a few states, but even just setting aside the legality of it, how could you possibly make a sane argument to justify taking people that don't do sexual content and putting them in sexual content anyway, without their permission, consent, or even knowledge that it exists, and then you're selling it to people to jerk off to? Like, can you not see how that's a huge violation? Building an entire career without ever touching sexual content and then still being sold as sexual content by somebody else and using other people's bodies on yours as if it is yours? How can you possibly not see how fucked up that is? The argument that I've heard time and time again is it's not their real body, why do they care? Well, it's because it is indistinguishable from being a real photo or real video because the technology is so fucking advanced. That would be like if someone took a picture or a video of you with a really tiny wiener and sent it around your entire university to make fun of you, or posted it underneath every single one of your tweets saying, "This you," and it's your tiny wiener with like a banana in your butt. No one's going to know if it's real or fake because the technology is so good. Unless you pay very close attention to like hands and feet, but they're also smart with that. In a lot of the photos and videos, they don't show the hands or feet anymore because they know the technology hasn't mastered it. So you really have no way of knowing if it's true or false. And even if you try and debunk that, let's say you're getting harassed by a bully that's deep faking small wieners on all your pictures and underneath all of your tweets. Let's say you're like, you know what, fuck it, I'm tired of it. Here's my real dick and it's 9 inches of steel and glory. Well, now they can just say, you deep fake that, that's not your real penis. You will never be able to prove what's real and fake. Thus, it's totally irrelevant whether or not it's their actual bodies or not, because it doesn't matter. They didn't consent to it, A, which is a huge issue that for some reason people are downplaying. They didn't consent to it or give permission to the site to deepfake porn of them. And B, no one's going to know if it's real or fake if someone just starts posting that places like, oh, here's an OnlyFans leak of this streamer, but you didn't know they had a secret OnlyFans. You wouldn't know. Thus, it's a terrible fucking thing all around. These streamers don't do sexual content, thus, that's why the AI deepfake porn of them exists. If they did do sexual content, it would be redundant. You could just go to their OnlyFans or their Pornhub page. So it's targeting completely innocent women in this industry that don't do anything sexual and still making it sexual for the sake of squeezing some doubloons out of some desperate porn-addicted losers that are frothing at the mouth to get porn of their favorite streamer. That's not normal and that's not acceptable behavior. Again, these are streamers that didn't consent to it, give their permission, know it existed, and they are still being sold sexual content of them that they never produced or had any hand in is being sold to fucking creepy losers. It should be super easy for anyone to understand why people are rightfully upset about all of this whole situation. And let's extend this to a bigger scope. Let's talk about this from a business sense. Businesses have gone full Weenie Hut Jr. I lost a major partnership because I made a dirty song. Now imagine the career problems that can unfold from AI deepfake porn being made of these people. having that somehow find its way to advertisers or brands they work with could create real issues, even though they've done nothing wrong. They've never made sexual content, they've never done any of the things in the videos or the photos, but it doesn't matter because it still is so indistinguishable from being authentic. It should be very obvious why this is a fucking big problem. Now, I do really want to mention that while every victim in this case was a woman because Atrioc had paid for the female streamer's content, it does exist for men as well, and it has for quite some time. It is obviously more prevalent in women because more people are going to look for AI deepfake porn of women on the internet than men, and you'd be stupid to try and argue the opposite. But it is worth noting that this isn't just a woman-specific issue. This does exist for men. There is a ton of deepfake porn of me, for example. And I want to touch on the actual AI deepfaking and everything regarding that itself. You may remember, if you've been around the channel for a few years, I actually told the story of the day I became alerted to this industry. It was just an innocent, ordinary, normal afternoon, and then someone sent me a message talking about a fake Charlie porn video that was floating around. So I clicked it, and it was a deepfake of me giving a dual hand job. So I was skiing with some wieners here, grabbing 2 penises in each hand. And this is when AI deepfaking was still pretty new, so it was primitive, a bit archaic, it wasn't convincing, it was floating around as like a very self-aware joke, and it made me giggle. And then another one popped up shortly thereafter of me giving myself a foot job, I think, and the physics of it were crazy. I mean, it looked like a PlayStation 1 malfunctioning cutscene. Like, there were quite a few AI deepfake pornos of me, and I thought nothing of it other than, wow, this is goofy. But I did at least want to keep my eye on it because I knew, as everyone does with technology, it only gets more and more sophisticated. So fast forward to 2023. We're at a point where AI deepfaking is so impressive that only a few days ago, a picture of 4 women in bra and panties went viral on Twitter with dudes drooling over them, and then it was revealed that that was all AI generated and none of those women existed, and people's minds were blown. It's no longer like this goofy thing where it looks like fucking terrible Photoshop. It's a very convincing tool. So obviously some bad actors are making porn out of people that don't do sexual content and selling it as authentic. They're not selling it as AI deepfaked porn most of the time. A lot of these companies are selling it as like leaks or look at what just dropped in this special Discord server of this person. And then they're selling AI deepfake porn of people that don't do that. So it's not even being marketed as a deepfake by most of the companies out there at the moment. And a lot of people are none the wiser because of just how convincing and how real it is. Obviously, all of it is being made without the people's permission or their consent for this kind of content to be made. But it doesn't matter. It's spawned an entire industry out of people exploiting it and using it for this financial gain and this really seedy, shitty, shady, weird community that has grown from it. And I don't have a spicy take on all of it where it's like, pull yourself up by your own bootstraps, that's the price of being on the internet. Because I don't think that should be the price of being on the internet. Having to just have porn of you always exist, even when you don't do porn. Just like fucking deep-faked revenge porn or whatever, like, that shouldn't be the cost of doing business online. It should be illegal, and in 3 states it is. Hopefully that grows as the technology does, where they start making it illegal pretty much everywhere to deepfake fucking porn of people. But yeah, it's a pretty awful situation, and it's a pretty complicated one. I do think a lot of the streamers are taking the right approach of getting the sites that are hosting these things and producing these things taken down. That is absolutely the correct play. 100%. It's not like what they're doing is okay, and I don't understand the fucking weirdos that are defending it. So yeah, just wanted to talk about the whole AI situation here with the deep fakes, and that's about it. See ya. I've talked about this a couple times in the past, but Twitch can be an extremely scary platform to be on. I'm not talking about because the people on it, like weirdos in the chat, constantly demanding feet pics or telling a female streamer that they have a butt-fuckable pussy or whatever dumb shit they want to say in chat. I'm talking about because of Twitch itself and their zero-tolerance policy for accidents. There have been countless examples of streamers who have made an innocent mistake where they're playing or watching something, then all of a sudden, bang, surprise titty on screen for half a second, and then they're banned the next day for it because context doesn't seem to really matter and they just don't give a fuck if it was on purpose or not. Also, you can get banned for really small things like a queef on stream, so it gets wild out there. But I've unintentionally laid booby traps on YouTube for streamers who do reaction-based content. And a couple days ago, one of my Macaulay Culkin Home Alone style traps was sprung by a huge streamer named Mizkif. And I'm just going to go ahead and show you the clip, and then there's a lot I'd like to talk about here.
As someone who knows none of the parties involved and I watched both videos, hey. Dream cheated. I personally would have went with the someone else messed with my mod folder defense, a less verifiable, tried and true classic. God damn it, Critical, you idiot.
The Council of Cock has decided your fate. You're a pussy. It's just Moby Huge's Get Over It. It's life, and it's beautiful. Now, Miz is a friend of mine. I can assure you that he's probably going to be fine. I don't fucking work for Twitch. I don't know, maybe he will get banned. Maybe we get fucking perma-banned. Those dicks were too big and violated the Geneva Convention or whatever. I have no fucking idea. But this isn't the first time it's happened either. But I want to say, this wasn't done intentionally. It is still, to date, probably the best thumbnail I've ever had for any video ever. It's from the Belle Delphine Will Not Beat Me video. And it has been just a true beauty, like a Renaissance painting. Real quick, if you're watching this on stream right now, Miz, I bet your heart is racing and you're starting to panic again. Fucking shaking your fist in the air. Damn you, Charlie and your Moby Huges. Fucking haunted by the Council of Cock. Nowhere is safe, Miz. Sleep with one eye open. You never know when the Council of Cock might sneak into your nightmares. But trust me, Miz, it's probably fine. If you're watching this on stream and didn't skip the Moby Huge pictures, I wouldn't worry too much. But anyway, I've seen it around Twitter quite a bit, and a couple of other Twitch streamers have also encountered it in the wild like a legendary Pokemon and had to delete the VOD and delete all the evidence. I don't blame Mizkif for panicking because it's Twitch and you never really know what they're going to ban for and when. So it's not like I think he's a weak man or a coward for deleting the VOD. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just the Council of Cock, baby. Like, you know, it's not going to be offended by it. I completely understand. I know Mizkif can appreciate the art. I'm sure he's a fan, but it's just a little too risky for Twitch. I wouldn't be surprised if Mizkif eventually prints off this thumbnail, puts it on like a fucking Magic the Gathering card, and gets it a PSA graded to put on his wall. This is also not the first time Mizkif has fallen victim to this exact same thumbnail. Actually happened the day I released the video, too.
Yeah, true. Island, you taught me, Pokemon cards. I taught you how to steal content.
Is that how it works?
Dude, what is with that thumbnail?
A couple weeks ago, when Belle Delphine said to the world that she would be I'm straight up speedrunning Mizkif's permaban. His VODs are going, dropping like fucking flies at the face of the Council of Cock. They just can't stand the overwhelming masculinity. Yeah, this is like the new Rick roll for Mizkif. For some reason, he keeps encountering the Council of Cock. I don't know how it keeps happening, but my god is it joyous every time. I would like to address his community though. I actually think Mizkif has a really, really fucking great community. And when this happened, they came to my stream that night and they're like, Charlie, I think you just got Mizkif banned. Please help. What do we do? We're losing our savior. You fucked him in the ass, Charlie. What is going on? So I'll just play the clip real quick where I talk about it. And let me just go ahead and put those fears to rest right now. I'm pretty sure Mizkif isn't going to get banned. This has happened to a couple of other streamers that have actually reached out to me. Miz isn't the only one that keeps coming across like the big Moby Huge thumbnails or anything. Another streamer named Kaylee also said like, what the fuck is going on? Do I need to worry because I saw your Moby Huge thumbnail on YouTube? And I was like, no, it's probably fine. I don't think they're going to do anything about it. But anyway, let me show you this clip and then we'll talk a bit more. Thanks to resub Arboss. Mizkif was scrolling through Twitter. He was reading Clint Stevens' prophecy where he predicted the dream thing as a joke. And in the replies, one of the top replies was the thumbnail of the video I made with the competition with Belle Delphine, where I was sitting between two Moby Huges, kind of just going over the competition and the collection of dildos. and it said the Council of Cock will choose your fate. And Mizkif just must be so acclimated to seeing dick on the regular. He just left it on screen while he was reading Clint Stevens' message very slowly, so it just sat there lingering with the Council of Cock and these two Moby Huges. And then he eventually notices, and he slaps his head like a fucking cartoon character, and he's like, "Charlie, you idiot," and then deletes the VOD instantly. He is not going to get banned, but if he does, that would be an incredible way of going out. But yeah, anyway, just wanted to talk about this briefly. Obviously, I didn't do it on purpose with the thumbnails as a way of pranking streamers, though it has kind of turned into like a superpower. I have like the internet death note. I can just write a streamer's name in there and they'll come across the Council of Cock photo or other Moby Huge thumbnails or something, and it'll get him in some trouble, perhaps. But yeah, it's not, again, wasn't like some kind of evil scheme where I was rubbing my hands together trying to sabotage people on Twitch. Just some incredible thumbnails that Twitch maybe might not approve of. And I don't think any streamers have anything to worry about. If they have come across any of the Moby Huge thumbnails, I'm sure it'll be alright. Anyway, that's about it. See ya. I don't think there is a loser more degenerate, more pathetic than Johnny Somali. His lore is sadder than the ending to Marley and Me, and it's entirely by his own doing, in his insatiable appetite to be famous. Like, his clout obsession has created a terminal illness that has led him down this path that will most likely see him behind bars. And I say most likely, even though from everything I've read it is guaranteed he is going to jail for his new charge that he is now facing. It seems there's no wiggle room for him to squeak his way out of this one. His newest charge carries a mandatory prison sentence of up to 7 years in the slammer. It also happens to be like his 150th charge that he's currently facing in Korea right now. It's because every time he goes live, he asks for $5 donations to commit a new crime. So he is constantly just getting more. We're going to dive into this new charge in just a moment, but I just want to make a strong argument that Johnny Somali is the most pitiful soul that has ever entered the streaming space, period. He is the GOAT of cringe in streaming. He has one goal in life, one purpose, and he's not shy about it. All he wants is to be famous and rich through streaming. He is neither. He is only famous to people that like lolcows and love to make fun of him and throw, tomatoes at him and cover all of his degeneracy. His own community doesn't actually like him. They just really like the idea that they get to control this man's life and send it down the shitter. It's like when you're playing Sims and you tell your Sim to put their hand on a hot stove and it catches them on fire. That's what his community does. They'll put $5 donation there in order for him to break a law so they can watch him get arrested and ruin his life, or have him harass someone in public so that way he'll get his ass beat and they get to laugh at it. So that's his whole legacy. He's also not rich from it. He doesn't make much money through streaming. He makes just enough to survive and also travel to more places for the global ass-beating world tour that he goes on. But the people who cover him, like all of the streamers and YouTubers that make videos about him, they make thousands of dollars. He is actually a golden loot box. He is leading people to a treasure he himself cannot possess. It's almost poetic. He has thrown his whole life away, willingly just sacrificing his freedom for nothing. But it has helped all the people that make fun of him. He provides them with basically an endless source of content, endless source of revenue, because who doesn't want to tune in to the pathetic story of this wild specimen of degeneracy, while he himself gets nothing. He doesn't even get morsels, crumbs, nothing. No attention, no money from it. It's unbelievable. You cannot write someone more pathetic than Johnny Somali. But anyway, let's go over his most recent charge here. Yep, he's guaranteed prison time. That's the good news. It's big, very big. I tried to refrain from diving too deep into it on my own so we could learn together on stream. But this is for the AI deepfakes he was making. This is the mandatory prison sentence, which I recall people were saying would likely be the case because of how seriously they take it. The controversial American live streamer notorious for his brazen antics and public disruptions is guaranteed to face prison time in South Korea. A fifth and most severe charge violating the country's Special Act on Sexual Violence Crimes has obliterated any remaining hope for leniency. The days of online infamy are over. For Somali, the virtual stage that once gave him global attention has been replaced by the harsh reality of legal consequences. They make it sound like he was actually popular. He never has been. The only people who know about him are people like me who follow lolcows. Almost nobody, as like a stream watcher, a viewer, will have ever heard of his name. He never even got global attention. The attention he got was the locals of the countries he would visit beating his ass because he would constantly be disrespecting them and making a huge scene every time he went out. This is kind of just going over a lot of what we've already gone over. Here we go. This goes more into the deepfakes. Prosecutors revealed that Somali is now facing charges violating the South Korea Special Act on Sexual Violence Crimes. The charges stem from an AI-generated deepfake video that depicted popular Korean streamer Bong Bong in fabricated intimate scenes with Somali. That's something we talked about as well, and a lot of people mention that they take that shit very, very seriously, and that seems to be the case. Under South Korean law, the creation, distribution, or possession of non-consensual AI-generated explicit content is classified as sexual crime. Woof! Legal experts have confirmed that this offense carries a mandatory prison sentence up to 7 years. Unlike the previous charges, which allowed for financial penalties, this particular crime eliminates the possibility of a mere fine. This is not simply an issue of digital mischief, explained a legal analyst, Legal Mindset. This is a serious sexual offense, and South Korea's court will treat it as such. When deepfakes are weaponized to humiliate or defame, the legal system responds with severe consequences. What a fucking W. Oh, what a W. And again, another thing to make big mention of, this is one charge. Keep in mind, he has also pled guilty to other charges carrying a minimum of 5 to 10 years. But this one is a guaranteed prison sentence up to 7 years. I guess we don't know exactly how long it'll be. And he still has more charges to come. He just got new charges when he got arrested on stream the other day. So he is still collecting these puppies like the Infinity Stones. When it's all said and done, this guy actually could end up with like 30, 35 years in the slammer. All for like a crumb. A tiny tiddlywink of internet attention. It's unbelievable. It's a bold statement, but I'm gonna make it. I think he is probably the most degenerate lolcow, at least in terms of like the consequences he's facing for being the lolcow, you know what I mean? Chris Chan is inarguably the GOAT of lolcows. No one will ever beat that. But not even Chris Chan received punishment to this level that Johnny Somali is. He's also going to get tried as a repeat offender with all the recent stuff too. I keep seeing that, but I don't know if that's confirmed. It sounds reasonable, like that sounds right. South Korea has cemented its reputation as a global leader in combating digital sex crimes. The country's strict laws were forfeited following a series of high-profile cases involving sexually explicit deepfakes and online harassment. In 2024, lawmakers passed legislation criminalizing the possession and viewing of non-consensual deepfake content. The penalties are unyielding. Offenders face up to 3 years in prison or fines reaching 30 million won, or 22.6k. Distributing or profiting from such content carries even harsher consequences, with sentences up to 7 years behind bars, which is what Johnny Somali's facing. South Korean society, still healing from past cases of cyber exploitation, has shown little patience for perpetrators like Somali. That is an understatement. They beat his ass every single time he goes live. They literally had a UAV online where they'd track him, follow him, and beat him. Oh yeah, they were fucking spawn camping him. In one of his streams, I already showed the clip multiple times, but in one of his streams, he literally leaves his hotel, and right after he gets out of his hotel, he just gets his ass beat. It's like GTA RP when you leave the hospital, but your ops are still waiting. It was so good. And this is just going over what we already talked about when he went to court. He went to court beyond hungover and just being extremely disrespectful. He was over an hour late. Yeah, we already went over all that. Also, we're coming up on his next appearance in court. It's next week, I believe. What would this guy even do? You're probably not familiar with his face because usually it's face down in some concrete after getting his ass beat. But he's an IRL streamer whose entire content was just breaking laws on stream for like donations and just being racist to everyone in every country he'd visit, trying to provoke them into a confrontation, and then he'd get his ass beat and cry about it. He did this in many places. Most notably before Korea was Japan. And that's just been his whole content. His viewers goad him into breaking more laws for their own entertainment, their own amusement, watching him throw away his life. And he does it with a big smile on his face, drinking himself into a coma every night on stream. It's fascinating. He doesn't stream on Kick. Kick doesn't even let him on there. He streams on Party. And even Party fucking banned him. I think they took the ban back, like he's allowed to stream again, but even Party, which I didn't even know they had ban features over there, they banned him for a little bit.
How did my whole speech about how I need subs to keep the stream going if you like the content, blah, 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 how that results in 0 subs? There are regulars here. $5 a month. How do you have hours of time to watch me and not $5? I don't know. What are you doing with your life where you have hours of time to watch Twitch and not $5 to provide for the content that you're watching? Because it's like people just really really don't respect me as a content creator.
Well, this Parasite's right about one thing. Nobody respects her as a content creator. Now, I'm not going to mention this streamer by name because I'm pretty sure she loves negative publicity. She does fucked up shit all the time just to get her name out there. She subscribes to the idea that all publicity is good publicity, but fails to realize that when you as a person are your own brand and rely on people liking you for money, having a negative public image literally fucking ruins you. And this one is definitely bigger than she anticipated because no one likes someone this shamelessly greedy. She is a streamer who runs political talk shows, but the majority of the stream is spent begging and shaming people into giving her money. And it's some of the most pathetic shit I've seen on Twitch. And I've seen a lot of pitiful, sad shit on Twitch. I saw a man finger his butthole for a $20 donation on Twitch, and I still have more respect for that than I do her. At least him sticking his fingers in his asshole was more fun than all of her streams combined. And somehow him putting nearly his whole fist in his chocolate starfish was still classier than any of this girl's streams. At least he had the decency to not shame the viewers into giving him $20 for sticking fingers up his brown balloon knot. He wasn't on stream going, hello, you broke cheap-ass viewers. I'm sitting here with my beautiful asshole goat seat into the camera, and nobody's giving me $20. My speech about giving me $20 and I'll finger my asshole didn't give me any money. What the fuck is wrong with you? He was very simple about it. He's like, you know what, $20 and I'll finger this asshole right here. You don't have to do it, but if you do, I'll fucking finger myself. And that's how it went. She's over here making a whole song and dance about it, making everyone just feel fucking uncomfortable, and she feels so entitled to their money, which she absolutely doesn't deserve. She provides no value whatsoever. You might as well just flush $5 down a toilet. That's more value than giving it to this girl.
Expecting and blah, blah, blah. Like, how are you consuming this free entertainment? Like, how do you think free entertainment is available to you? It's because other people actually provide money so you can be a cheap ass. That's it. Other people provide money because they're generous and they see like a thing that they want to support, a form of entertainment they want to support, and then you leech. But that's the reality of it, period. Period. If you're watching Twitch as a non-donating, non-sub, you are leeching. Does that mean that you should feel bad about it? I don't know. But the reality is that you are leeching.
Such a laughable sense of entitlement, especially when she has no talent at all. Also, she's not making $0 from viewers that watch her for free. Twitch itself places an ad at the beginning of your stream, so when someone clicks on your stream, you're getting money just from that click. And I'm pretty sure she plays ads throughout her streams, which also gets her money from viewers that aren't donating or subbing to her. So I don't know why the fuck she thinks she possibly has the right to complain about not getting an extra $5 from people that either can't afford to or just don't want to because she isn't earning that $5. And she absolutely isn't earning that $5. All she does is insult the chat. She doesn't provide anything at all of value, and I'm pretty sure she hates streaming and only does it to just try and get money out of viewers or guilt them into giving her money, which is super shitty. I'd say 95% of all streamers, myself included, I stream daily on Twitch at twitch.tv/moistcritical. Come stop by if you want to put a few extra inches on your penis. I'd say 95% of all streamers do it just because they love streaming. I know I do. I don't think the majority of streamers are going around just constantly begging for subs and donations, but I know there definitely are a few, her being the biggest culprit, but I'd say the majority of streamers aren't like that.
Chat! I haven't got a donation or a sub for an hour. What the fuck? For an hour? What the fuck? An hour when I fucking working for free? What the fuck?
What a horrible, embarrassing perspective for someone to take on something like this. She has the worst possible attitude. I'm not going to go into her disgusting past. She's done a lot of really fucked up shit and said some fucked up shit. But just this perspective of hers that she is so adamant about, where if you are not paying her, you are a piece of shit. She calls you names, she calls you out by your screen name if she sees you're not subbed. She is the most standoffish, unlikable person on that platform. And it's gotta be kind of embarrassing to be a subscriber to this girl because she's openly hostile and doesn't give a fuck about it. Only there to siphon $5 out of your wallet every month because she feels entitled to it, as if you're just holding her money for her because you flip on her stream to fall asleep to it once every 3 months. But yeah, this narcissist is probably the greediest person on Twitch. She's like the Mr. Krabs of streaming, but not nearly as cool as Mr. Krabs because she has a shitty personality, a horrible attitude, and the worst perspective on things on that entire platform.
And the reason why this is getting retweeted and liked so much is because she's an attractive woman who didn't act like a nice person, which is what makes sexually frustrated incels angry. Woman not acting, woman out of her place, me mad.
Yeah, this hero decides to make it an issue about her being a woman, despite the fact that that is irrelevant to why people don't like it. It's because people don't like someone that says shit like that and it is that greedy and that disrespectful and that entitled. It has nothing to do with her being a woman. But this guy's trying to score some of those brownie points. Oh, streamer, please look at me fight for you on Twitter. Please let down your long hair so I may take my $5 and climb up and woo you over. It's also really cute that Mike over here decides to call everyone that disagrees with her perspective an incel when he himself is like the fucking king of incels. Check out his first interaction with the streamer.
That's fine. I think that's fine. So if a guy pays for my tab,
I think I'm getting your attention. I feel like I touched like a vampire touching holy water.
can I help you?
Well, I think they want to go in.
Okay.
Whoa there, Mike. I think you made her a little too wet with that alpha energy. Yeah, man, you've definitely got a lot of room to be tossing the word incel around, huh? With game like that? What a fucking player. Great work, Mike. There are people sticking up for her, of course. Buyer's remorse. They've already paid for the subscription and now they feel like they need to justify it to everyone in the world. Like what you like who you like, it's totally fucking fine. But there's very clear reasons why people don't like what she said that have nothing to do with her being a woman, Mike. It has to do with her attitude and her disrespect and that sense of entitlement that she thinks everyone has to fucking pay her to watch her, and then she guilts them into it and shames them and makes them fucking feel bad and attacks them for it, which is wrong, Mike. It's just fucking wrong and it's shitty. It's a bad look and it's pathetic. But anyway, yeah, that's about it. So yeah.
You've been raped. No. You should be.
This guy who looks like the result of a botched fusion dance performed by a colonostomy bag and a sloth is Only Use Me Blade. Now I'm sure some of you are thinking Brian was just telling a really shitty, edgy joke, but it's not. Brian Only Use Me Blade has a history of sexually harassing women during streams, and earlier this week found himself under more controversy during an RV stream where it appears he gets into a bed with a passed out drunk woman and thrusts. This is all allegedly, nothing is 100% proven, so keep that in mind. All of that in that department is alleged. He is a downright deplorable, revolting, adipose astronaut, a downright shit stain on the internet. He is easily the world's worst streamer. He is a raging alcoholic, serial groper, just groping complete strangers, and just, he's an animal abuser as well. All of these, all documented. I'll show you what I can. Let me give you a brief history of Only Use Me Blade. Only Use Me Blade rose to popularity during the early days of Call of Duty Modern Warfare. His shtick was he was only using a knife to get his kills, and he did well in the game, but his popularity faded as the game's popularity faded, and he didn't adapt very well. He got big into alcohol and then started streaming. The only reason he maintained even a very small audience is because people were laughing at him. They liked to see him get drunk and fall asleep, well, pass out, hurt himself, stumble around. That was the only thing that people tuned in to see. He's a degenerate loser. In fact, he was banned on Twitch because he got so drunk he started fingering his asshole for a $20 donation. The only reason people have ever tuned into Brian's stream is to watch him pass out and compete with each other to see who can wake him up with the loudest noise through the computer. That is Brian's whole identity, his legacy. And I'd feel bad for him, but it's hard to feel bad for a skid mark like this guy. Now let me show you his follow-up to when he recently groped a woman on stream and she called him out for it. This is his perspective on it.
I just have a lot of love to give. So if some random fucking ugly whore bitch gets groped, she gets groped. Accept it. You should be fucking welcome, whore. You should be fucking welcome, whore. Seriously, you should be fucking honored that I would ever grope you, you stupid bitch.
What a class act. This guy is the exact person your parents tell you never to end up like. You can genuinely smell him through the computer. Brian struggles with alcoholism, obviously, and it's so bad, he's 36 years old and looks like a fucking walking corpse already, but it's so bad that he has to wear diapers because he frequently shits and pisses himself, and he's been shown on stream putting on his adult diapers, and they're fucking massive diapers. It looks like something that you could put a whole goddamn Ford F-150 into, because this is a big boy taking big shits and big pee-pees when he's blackout drunk. Now, let me get to the animal abuse.
The drama, people suing me.
Alright, let's go.
I didn't like it.
Animal abuse is all the rage from internet creators these days, and Only Use Me Blade hopped on that bandwagon early. You got Brooke, the girl that put her dog into the dryer. You've got all of these titans in animal abuse on the internet, and Only Use Me Blade was kind of the pioneer who really kicked it off. He's done more than just that, but that was the first clip that I could find, and I didn't really want to go through his entire catalog of absolutely deplorable, disgusting shit. So I think you can pretty well understand how he feels about animals and how he treats them when he's around them, even though he himself is the most vile animal on the internet. Now let's get to the most recent thing where this grotesque dump truck appears to have non-consensual sex with a passed out drunk woman. Now keep in mind, nothing has been 100% proven, so this is all alleged. The incident occurred on an RV trip. It's a stream that they're doing with a bunch of different people. She was on the trip with them. There's multiple different camera angles, and one of the camera angles shows Blade going into the back room where the girl was passed out drunk, and he is stripped down to his boxers and appears to be thrusting on top of the woman. Now, before this alleged incident even occurs, there's a clip right before anything happens where Brian is asking one of the other men that you see in frame here if he should go have sex with the passed out girl in the back. He mentions her by her stream name, and I don't think she wants her name associated with any of this, so I'm not going to show you the clip. But the guy's response when Brian says this is he just kind of shrugs his shoulders. Every man on this fucking RV that you see here is such a piece of shit. It's unbelievable. It's like this RV is a giant pile of dog shit, and these are just subhuman flies feasting upon it, festering in this cesspool. It's fucking gross. This is the clip where the alleged incident actually is occurring on camera. I've cropped it out so you can't see it, but just out of frame, it seems as though Brian is making a thrusting motion on the bed. He's a massive man, so you can see the covers moving back and forth, and his legs are moving quite a bit as well, trembling under the body weight that they have to support. But this alleged incident is occurring at this time in the clip. Another extremely sad thing about this whole situation is the Reddit community that's trying to defend it. It's like a propaganda machine. They released like an Illuminati video trying to debunk it scientifically, but it's really poorly made, and you can clearly tell it's made by a 15-year-old. And as you can read, their excuse is basically the RV was bouncing, which explains why the covers were moving the way they were, but it doesn't explain why they were moving at the same speed and the same interval during this alleged incident that occurs, and his legs were shaking due to alcohol shakes. And then throws in like this conspiracy bullet point list on why people would be making it up, and it's obviously never even occurred to this psychopath middle school lunch table loner social outcast 15-year-old that the reason people are upset is because they feel as though they may have just witnessed a crime and a really horrible thing, because in this alleged incident the footage looks very bad and disturbing. And for some reason, as these fucking paranoid gang-stalking conspiracy points like, oh, they're coming after our entertainment, the normies are flooding in, white knights. It's unbelievable, and it's just fucking pathetic.
It's not rape if they don't have an orgasm. Fuck it.
And okay, I don't think if this shit is like, I don't think I should just be on stream doing this shit.
That was a clip of the girl reacting to a video that detailed the entire situation, and then she goes offline. I'm gonna give you a quick little montage of Brian groping women on stream. If you just search Only Use Me Blade, the first 20 or so results are just clips of him groping women that aren't interested in him. His name, Only Use Me Blade, is basically just synonymous with vomit and grope.
Oh my god. Oh my god, what the fuck? You can't broke me! You broke me on my head. I don't know where am I?
You have some big ass titties, baby. No, bring him on back. Bring him on back.
Oh yeah, it's worth mentioning, all of this is after he's purged YouTube of the clips of him groping and sexually harassing and assaulting women. Yeah, he also abuses copyright takedown shit. He is the max level of pathetic loser on this fucking planet. It's unbelievable. So, Blade, you're probably watching, if you can even keep your eyes open for this long without puking on yourself and falling over. You're a fucking menace. You fucking suck. You're a horrible person. I don't know who's watching you. Well, that's a lie. I do know who's watching you. It's the people just there to make fun of you in the stream chats, because that's kind of all you're there for, just like a punching bag for those people to make fun of you. I don't know if you're proud of that or not, but you do get donations for it that are insulting you to your face, so I guess that's cool for you too, I guess. But anyway, ordinarily I'd feel bad for someone like Brian, because he does struggle with a genuine condition, alcoholism, but he uses it like a superpower to be the worst possible person on the planet and make money off. Easily the worst streamer out there. That's it. So yeah.